the 2020 C8 is not sold out. All right, guys, so what's the deal here? A few months ago, there was an article that's kind of floating around the internet about the 2020 C8 Corvette being sold out. This was like before the strike and everything, and there was no way that was true, but I guess someone in GM said something, and so it was kind of taken that way. And it turns out that that wasn't true, and it was a rumor. Now, just 2 days ago, on December 12th, Motor Trend publishes an article, to me a very irresponsible article, again, about the 2020 Corvette being sold out. And they mentioned that there's 40,000 vehicles slated for 2020. They quoted the GM president of North America, right? So it's not like they just made something up, but probably in an interview that they just kind of casually asked him a few questions. This was apparently at the launch event for the Tahoe and Suburban, and he probably answered a few questions just kind of flippantly and didn't really think about what he was saying. And so Motor Trend kind of skewed what they told him and kind of made their own story out of it. So here's the problem. They're not going to make 40,000 2020 Corvettes. That is A, mathematically impossible. B, they never said that before. I think they said at one time they intended to make 30,000 a year, but that wasn't necessarily for 2020. 2020, they were probably going to make less anyway because it's a shorter year. They were planned on production starting in December, probably running through July or August, something like that. Now, with the strike that happened earlier in the year, it's not going to happen until February. Still probably would go till August, September, something like that. And there's no way you can mathematically produce even 30,000 cars, but definitely 40,000 cars during that time. So that's one mistake. Most likely what he meant, if he did say the words 40,000, was for the entire calendar year of 2020, which also includes 2021 model year cars, which there's plenty of allocations available for those. That's not even in question here in this conversation. We're talking about the 2020 Corvette. And believe it or not, even if they can only produce 20,000, maybe 25,000 cars in this shortened model year, it's still not sold out. So what exactly does it mean if this president of GM North America said that the car was sold out? He may have said something along those lines. He may have said something like they're all spoken for, or they're all allocated, or there aren't any available, something like that. But I guarantee you that does not mean that the cars are actually all sold to customers or pre-reserved to customers. What that actually means is that, again, if this is actually what he said and if it is truthful, but what that would actually mean is that GM has said they're going to produce 40,000 cars during the calendar year of 2020. That could include some 2020 model year and some 2021 model year, okay? Of those 40,000 that they intend to build, the allocations for those cars are spoken for by the dealers, right? So some of the large national Corvette dealers, they might have gotten an allocation for 1,000 cars for the 2020 model year, and maybe they've already been allocated another 500 for the 2021 model year. I don't know if that's true, but I'm just throwing my numbers out here. So that's 1,500 cars that will be produced during the calendar year of 2020, okay? So if GM has already said, we're going to produce these during these times, and they've said, you, a large Corvette dealer, would you like 1,000 allocations for the 2020 model year? And would you expect to want another 500 for the 2021 model year to be produced during the calendar year of 2020? That dealership says yes. So then GM says, we have sold, check, we have sold 1,500 allocations. Do that time and time and time again, all the dealerships across the country until you get to your 30, 40,000. And now to General Motors, they are all accounted for. They are all sold. They are all allocated. That does not necessarily mean that they are sold to the customers. That means that of the of their production timeline throughout 2020, they are all accounted for by the dealerships throughout the United States. Unfortunately, this is the second time in the last month or so that Motor Trend has produced a very sloppy, malicious, dangerous piece of journalism surrounding the 2020 Corvette. It makes me feel like they are producing the same type of content for maybe other cars, and I'm not keeping track of them all. You know, I really love Motor Trend. I've been a subscriber and a follower of Motor Trend for, I don't know, 20, 30 years, right? Ever since I was a small child, I've always loved their magazines. I've always flipped through them every month. I've had a subscription myself for probably 15 years. I don't even know. And I still love the magazines. I still love most of what they produce, but I feel lately that they have gone into the realm of clickbait or just finding ways to stretch the truth in order to get more viewers or more readers. And that sucks. That really, really sucks. I haven't seen that yet from Car and Driver, Road and Track, some of the others. I've actually seen some highly more responsible reporting from CNET, who CNET has a online magazine called Roadshow. And they actually posted an article here a couple days ago saying the C8 Corvette is not sold out. So I've actually seen more factual and thoughtful journalism coming from that site more than Motor Trend, which is quite unfortunate. You know, just a month ago they said that the C8 Corvette was going to produce 650 horsepower. They made a huge deal about this report, where they took their C8 test mule that they got to do their initial testing. They took it to the dyno, and they were the only magazine that took their car to the dyno. And they did a bunch of dyno tests on it, and they determined that it had about 650 horsepower at the crank.
About 558 horsepower, which means after drivetrain losses, it's 650 horsepower.
And they even, during the testing, said, this is weird. Let me scratch my head. Maybe we have a factory freak. Maybe it's a ringer. Maybe GM sent us something weird. And nowhere during this article or the video they released about this did they say, sorry guys, something's messed up. We need to defer this article to later until we get more information. They actually, within the video and within the article, debated whether or not the number was correct and concluded that yes, it was correct, that 650 horsepower was a correct number.
I'm leaning more towards the 650 that we saw.
I called them out. A lot of other people called them out. By the way, if you plan on leaving a comment in this video or disliking this video simply because of the fact that I'm saying something you don't like about the C8 Corvette, because you maybe put in a pre-order and you like the fact that it's sold out according to these sources, that is not my intention. I'm not intending to bash you or the car or anything in any way. I'm going to get one of these cars. I love this car. It's an amazing car. But all I wish for is factual, incredible journalism from Motor Trend, from all these other places on the internet that are reporting that this car has been sold out for the past couple of months. That's all I'm wishing for. And that's the same thing I was wishing for when I called them out about the 650 horsepower. It wasn't because I didn't want it to have 650 horsepower. I said it just simply factually doesn't have 650 horsepower. And I got a lot of people making comments that I was a basher, or I was wrong, or I need to check my facts and things like that. Please don't do that to this video. Please, because look in the mirror first, guys. The car's not sold out, you know? And listen, I'm not alone here just making this up. There's plenty of other dealers all over the internet who have posted that they still have allocations available. In fact, McMulkin Chevrolet up in New Hampshire, they're the second largest Corvette dealer in the country, has posted many times or told many of their aspiring customers that they're not sold out. In fact, just in this week, we've got numbers that they have an allocation of around 1,100 cars for the 2020 model year, and they've only received pre-orders for less than 500 of them. So not only is it not sold out, but that means of McMullen's allocations, less than half of them are even sold. Really makes me wonder how many are sold at other dealers. Let's say the hometown dealer here that's 10 miles away, they probably only sell 5 to 10 Corvettes a year. So their allocation for the 2020 is probably pretty small, probably no more than 5 to 10. How many of those have they sold? I feel like I might be able to go walk in the dealership door and say, do you have any available? And they say, yeah, we have 1 or 2. That still allocations. And sure, they're not going to be first run February, March productions, but they might be, June or July or something like that, because they don't have nearly the demand. They don't have too many people knocking on their door compared to McMullen or Kerbeck or Conti or some of these other guys who sell a lot of these Corvettes. In fact, here are many, many posts just within the past few days from either the dealership sources themselves, salespeople at dealerships, or customers that have recently contacted dealerships that have gone online, Corvette Forum, Facebook, Instagram, wherever it may be, and said, this car is not sold out. In fact, I just put a deposit down, or I was just told by this dealer that there are still 200 allocations available at their dealership. Oh yeah, by the way, at MSRP. So not only is it not sold out, but there's zero reason to pay more than MSRP for one, even still today, even here in December of 2019. I will also say that given what I've seen now here in December about the amount of cars that are actually still available, my previous prediction on a video I made 2 or 3 months ago may still come true. We may still see some of these cars hit the lots in the spring and be offered at a discount. I think there's this belief that there's this overhype of the cars being all previously accounted for. I would very, very much bet that there are some dealers out there that have allocations, early allocations, that have specifically not pre-sold them because they want to get them on the lot. They want to get people to come to their dealership, look at the car, experience the car, maybe pay for that one at a premium, maybe also put in a order for another one, or maybe pre-order a 2021, whatever it may be. It's actually not a bad strategy. Is take one of your early allocations, put it on the showroom floor for a couple of months, and then see how that drums up more business, see how it brings traffic into your dealership. So I actually think there's going to be some dealerships using that tactic. There might even be a few dealerships that have done that with 5 to 10 cars, not just one, because they, again, want to get a lot of traffic. And then if they have 5 to 10 sitting on their lot for more than a couple of weeks, you might be able to get one at a discount. Again, it's purely speculation on my part. So there's nothing factual about that. No, nothing more than just my opinion on what could happen, given now that we see that potentially only about 50% of the 2020 Corvettes are actually sold and it is not sold out. But we'll see. Ultimately, this car is still going to be a wild success. They're still going to sell 20,000+ of these cars in a shortened model year of 2020. Absolutely insane. The car is still an incredible value. I can't wait to get behind the wheel of one. All I'm asking for is factual journalism from some of these news sources, and also that you guys, the fans, the buyers, the people that love the Corvette, are actually believing factual information and not buying into the hype produced by journalists, by even GM, by your local dealership that may say it's sold out just to try to get you to pay more, whatever that may be. You never know. So anyway, I hope you loved this video. I hope that you took this video and understood the facts that I've presented. And hopefully you look at the Motor Trend article and a few of these other places that have said that it's been sold out for a while and said, these guys were wrong. And hopefully you guys can counteract them. Like, go on to their Instagram page, their Facebook pages, their or just on their article on their website, and leave comments. Call them out on producing false information, especially Motor Trend now doing it twice in the last month for the 2020 Corvette. First with the dyno horsepower that they have since admitted they were wrong about, and then now this. Again, I would not be surprised. Wait 2 or 3 weeks, they might put out another article saying how they were wrong about this. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching. If you like this video, give me a like, hit subscribe, and until next time, adios.